Mapoire is my name, and you're watching the News Bulletin. Our top stories: Bulawayo lawyers derail Mnangagwa's constitutional amendments. New Doves boss targets 2,000 followers within a week. Beneficiation and value addition of Zimbabwe's mineral top priority. South Africa's Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine rollout to resume. Social media algorithms to face scrutiny as lawmakers look to curb the amplification of misinformation. Now, the stories in detail. How the constitutional amendments will cede exclusive power to Mnangagwa. The ongoing constitutional amendments, which have been largely resisted by Zimbabweans, are set to centralize power on the incumbent President Emmerson Mnangagwa. The amendment will cede power to the President and oversight that is meant for the judiciary and legislature, making him the most powerful president in the history of Zimbabwe since independence. The proposed amendments cover a raft of changes which include removing the clause of a president having running mates during elections, scrapping the process of public interviews and the selection of judges and the prosecutor general. Beneficiation and value addition of Zimbabwe's minerals top priority. Zimbabwe is richly endowed with 60 different economically exploitable mineral resources, including gold, diamonds, platinum, group of metals, PGM, lithium, and graphite, which the government has targeted under the $12 billion mining economy to beneficiate and add value to. Honorable Minister of Mines and Mining Development, Winston Chitando, revealed this to TechMag's Rose Moyo in an exclusive interview yesterday. Beneficiation and value addition of minerals before export is one of the 4 key pillars of Zimbabwe's goal to create value employment and accelerate industrial development from its largely unexploited mineral resources.
We do have engagements with ZMF and Chamber of Mines continuously, and they tell us, what they expect. We also have engagements with the Parliamentary Committee on Mines, so we continue to get that feedback from our stakeholders, among other stakeholders, on what is required for us to improve the ease of doing business.
You are the minister. Where the minister?
Well, the SMM is under administration, and that falls under the Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs. Suffice to say that they have some plans to commence production, but technically it falls under the, all companies under administration fall under the Minister of Justice.
Okay. If you may explain to the layperson about the Mines and Minerals Act, the Gold Trade Act, the Precious Stones Act, in relation to value addition, what are these acts in place for?
I think these acts, value addition, and the existence of these acts are probably 2 different things. The Mines and Minerals Act is the spine which controls the whole mining industry, regulates the whole mining industry. The Gold Trade Act regulates the trading of gold, essentially. And the Precious Stones Act regulates the trading of precious stones in very simple terms. But the value addition, like I said, government is rolling out mineral development policies for for each mineral to ensure that there is full value to the country from value addition.
The NGS, the National Strategy, we understand that Cabinet approved its monitoring and implementation. In as far as your Ministry of Mines is concerned, how are you factoring it?
There are NDS targets which have been set for all ministries, and the target for the mining industry is really centered around the 12 billion achievement. It's centered around the efficiency. It's centered around value addition. That's really the main thrust around, and also operating in an environmentally friendly manner. That's really the cornerstone of the mining industry contribution to the MDS.
Government has initially prioritized diamonds, chrome, PGMs, nickel, and coal, bed methane, and will utilize the mineral sector and related industries to develop mining inputs. Despite losing $1.2 billion annually to gold smuggling, Minister Chitando is confident that Zimbabwe's mining economy will reach these heights and even beyond. Government has no capacity to pay US dollar salaries. The government says it has no capacity to pay civil servant salaries in United States dollars. This was revealed by Public Service and Social Welfare Minister Professor Paul Mavima while addressing the issue of civil servant salaries. During the address, Mavima said, with regard to salary, government is working out to ensure that workers are motivated properly, but the workers should also appreciate efforts that are being made by the government. The salaries will be in a local currency as the government has no capacity to pay United States dollar indexed salaries. According to our revenue at the moment, it is not possible for us to go beyond what we have already offered. Bulawayo lawyers derail Mnangagwa's constitutional amendments. A consortium of Bulawayo-based lawyers led by Ngube and partners in preparing to challenge the passing of the Constitution of Zimbabwe Amendment No. 1 bill in Parliament, the lawyers in their submission argued that the process did not follow due procedure of the House of Assembly as it was a continuous process for expired terms of Parliament, hence null and void. Most of the changes which the National Assembly made to be Constitutional Amendment No. 2 bill, which is not subject to the court challenge and the committee stage, materially altered clauses of the original draft or added new clauses that were not there. Hence, they are unconstitutional because they were made without going through the procedure laid down in Section 328 of the Constitution. As a result, the clauses which have been changed and added to the bill have not been properly passed by Parliament. New Dove's boss drives digital growth. Former CBZ marketing manager Joe Gombera, who joined the current fastest growing local funeral assurance company, Dove's Holdings, as its new general manager in February, said he is targeting to reach many social media followers in a week's time. Posting on his microblogging page, Twitter, Gombera wishes to expand the company's name by establishing many social media followers, as he is targeting to reach about 2,000 followers on Twitter in a week. New Beginning General Manager, Marketing Dove's Holdings, at Dove's Holdings, kindly welcome me by taking our followers to 2,000 within the next 7 days, he tweeted. Gombera has been working as a group senior marketing manager with CBZ back in 2008. Social media algorithms to face scrutiny as lawmakers look to curb the amplification of misinformation. Usually, when social media executives are brought to testify in front of Congress, the hearings are centered on specific policies and types of content, misinfo and foreign interference, antitrust issues, and privacy concerns. What doesn't quite get as much attention are the engines that drive these platforms, their algorithms, That's what makes Tuesday's Senate Judiciary hearing with Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube different. The hearing is entirely focused on social media algorithms. Nearly all social media platforms, including the 3 companies represented in today's hearing, use algorithms to curate what their users see when they see it. Senator Chris Coons, who is chairing the hearing, said yesterday, these algorithms impact what billions of people read, watch, and think every single day. And it's critical that Congress and the American public understand how they work and how can we curb the amplification of the misinformation and political polarization. A second aspect that will differentiate Tuesday's hearing from others, none of the big CEOs will be in attendance. Instead, the companies are sending their heads of policy to answer questions. YouTube is finally testifying before a congressional committee. Usually lawmakers call Google and its CEO, Sundar Pichai, to testify, allowing YouTube to avoid the scrutiny it might receive if it were present itself. Apple is now giving us the choice. On Monday, Apple released iOS 14.5, one of its most anticipated software updates for iPhones and iPads in years. It includes a new privacy tool, app tracking transparency, which could give us more control over how our data is shared. With Apple's latest mobile software update, we can decide whether apps monitor and share our activities with others. Here is what to know. When an app wants to follow our activity to share information with third parties, such as advertisers, a window will show on our Apple device to ask for our permission to do so. If we say no, the app must stop monitoring and sharing our data. South Africa's Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine rollout to resume on Wednesday. South Africa will resume its Johnson & Johnson vaccination program on Wednesday. This is after the rollout was put on hold following cases of rare blood clots that were reported in 6 recipients in the United States. The South African Health Products Regulatory Authority has since found no evidence of blood clots, and health authorities say there is 1 in a million chance of getting clotting disorders. Phase 1 of the vaccination program aimed at health workers is expected to end on the 16th of May. Those taking part will be required to give consent again. Government Commission's Nyachuru Information Center, Minister of Information and Communication Technology, Jenfen Muswere, on Monday launched the Nyachuru Containerized Village Information Center in Mashonaland Central Province to enhance broadband connectivity and bridge digital divide. The development is part of government's efforts to ensure that those in rural areas have access to ICTs. Speaking during the launch, the ICT minister said community information centers and indeed containerized village information centers are an integral part of that drive as they enable local communities to have access to information communication technology services at affordable rates. As a country, we do not leave anyone behind when it comes to broadband connectivity, whether they are living in rural areas or in urban areas, he said. That's all we had for you. Remember to like our Facebook page, techmag.tv, subscribe to our YouTube channel, TechMag TV, and follow us on Twitter at TechMag TV.